Check one. Check one. Check two.
Hare Krishna.
Check one. Check two.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're live. We're live. Holly, holly. Holly, holly, holly.
Hare Rama.
Hare Rama. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the program.
Hare Rama.
Welcome to the live stream here on YouTube. We're live. Another day in our lives together. Could be the last. Maybe. Is it the first or the last? Or is it neither? Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Hi. La, 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 la. I got some fine stories for you today. Have some fine information to share today with the world. My name is Marcus Conte. I am a guy who makes videos here on YouTube. And that's really it. That's really it. Hare Krishna. Sing it, man. Sing it. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the program. Born Annoying is back. Is here. Vinny D. Martini. On the wrench. What's up, Vinny? Champs in the house. Jim Gerard, my brother. Is here. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the program. Yep. Those are the stories for today. La la la. Hare Hare. Hey, yeah. So turn the shit off. Turn it off. Yeah, okay. So what else we got today? What are we talking about today? I saw the ad. Have you seen this ad with Trump? Oh my God. Trump put together a campaign ad. It's like a Hollywood, kind of a 3-minute Hollywood movie invoking God and fucking patriotism and flags and Americanism, right? What it means to be American, what it means not to be American. Fascinating commercial, 3-minute infomercial. And I'll play that. We'll play it and watch it together and get my reaction to it. I think the big story today is Elon Musk, right? Suppose one day you were out there diving off a diving board and you snap your neck, right? And you blow out your fucking, your neck bone, and suddenly you come out of the pool and you're paraplegic. Meaning you can't move from the shoulders down. That's it. You're done. You just sit there and you're awake. You could see, you could hear, but you can't move. All right. So the experiment is to see if we can get people in that condition, or any condition really, to be able to use their brain power, their telepathy, to think about something and be able to move it, as so long as the link is intact, right? And it's been successfully done. Chips, watch one fella, the chip was put in his head, and it's attached to his computer, and he can basically do anything with the computer with no hands. All he's got to do is look at the cursor, and he could get it to move. That's pretty fascinating, right? There's no wires connected. There's no hand. There's no physical effort, right? There's no hand, no touch. It's just mind. He looks at for example, he's playing chess. He looks at the chess piece and he gets it to move. Well, that's fucking fascinating, right? That's a fascinating breakthrough. Thank you, Elon Musk, the great billionaire of our time, figured it out, right? He's one of those guys that figured that shit out, right? So look at that story. And also fascinating phenomena in America where after the pandemic, for some bizarre reason, in certain places, shoplifting has become legal, or really, really no consequence to doing it. Right? So you can walk into a store with an empty shopping bag and fill it up with all kinds of shit, right? And run out the door. And security's told not to chase you, not to intervene, right? You say, I'm going to kick your ass. You turn around with your bag of stolen shit. You go, I'm going to fuck you up, right? And the security guards turn around and they walk away. Right? And it has created this booming cottage industry where so much of the shit that's sold on places like Craigslist, Facebook Market, even eBay, are allegedly stolen shit, right? So, and I think that the funniest part of the story is that they're now cracking down on the people who sell the merchandise online. Conspiracies to fucking do something, right? But they're leaving unchecked the obvious, the big elephant in the room, which is stop the fucking shoplifting already, right? Companies are getting crushed by these shoplifters that come in. Some of them take orders. They have, shopping list. And they go into the store and they go, all right, you got to get 4 Sawzalls and 25 gallons of Haagen-Dazs ice cream, right? And they get the stuff and then they bring it right to the fence. Who buys it, right? Now, who's more fucking to blame? Who's more the criminal? The guy stealing it or the guy buying it and reselling it? I don't know. I would say the guy stealing it. If you wanted to stop it at the source, stop the stealing. Right? Stop justifying the stealing of merchandise from. I know the big corporations. Who cares? Who cares that Home Depot got ripped off for $8,000 today? But eventually, it comes back to sting, so to speak. You have a culture of theft. Right? It's become acceptable, right? And anyway, so we'll look at those stories. Here's the guy, right? Here's the guy, the NEURALINK guy. He's got a fucking chip in his head, and he plays chess. But then again, he's paralyzed from the shoulders down. So what has he got to lose, right? He claims that the installation of the chip was painless, nothing. He didn't feel anything. He just went to the hospital. They did the deed, and he's got the chip in his head, right? Right, so so we'll look at his video. Fascinating is the Trump commercial. What it means to be American is just a fucking amazing effort. And behind it, you see all the stolen junk being stolen. It's not junk. It's new stuff. Right? New stuff. Right, here's an example. Right, you know the hoods of the neighborhood. Right, you're hanging out in the barber shop, and some hood walks in and says, "Yo, man, does anybody need anything new? What are you guys looking for to buy? Right? What are you in the market for?" And a guy says, "Oh, I need a couple of fucking hand drills and a electric screwdriver. Can you hook me up?" And the guy's like, "Yeah, no problem. Just sit here. Don't go anywhere." And he goes down the block to fucking jumps in his car, goes to Home Depot, boosts it, and then brings it over to the guy at the barber shop for pennies on the dollar. Right? Instead of the guy spending $400 on his power tools, he gets it for $1.25, right? And the guy is the guy who, the thief, is happy with his $1.25. He's down at the drug spots, buying his fentanyl or whatever, buying his Cadillac. Who even knows? It's not like desperation anymore because there's no consequence. If you get caught shoplifting, it's in one door, out the other, no bail. That's in New York anyway. So we'll look at this fascinating stories of our time. My name is Marcus Conte. I have a website. It's marcusconte.com. We are live every morning, 9 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern Time, United States, Monday through Thursday, four-day work week. Got some balls, right? I'm only on for an hour, and I got it down to 4 days. I don't know, it just feels more comfortable at 4 days. Right? On the fifth day, you run out of things to say. Right? So there's lots of stories. We're broadcasting across all of these platforms: Rumble, BitChute, Odyssey, Facebook, Twitter, Getter, X. We're everywhere, right? Just if we're ever lost, just come here. Right now, we're live on YouTube, and coming into the election season, of course, one can be accused of saying things that one didn't say, or and such, and get kicked off the platform for speech. That's happening in America right now. So It's very hard to predict, because whenever the establishment leans on big tech and tells them to start vilifying anybody and everybody who talks about these subjects on our list, if they do, get rid of them because they're bad and they're dangerous. That's what goes on. That's what big tech is faced with. They're being pressured to kick people off because of government pressure. Right? Supreme Court in America is looking at it right now. They have a case in front of them, Murthy versus Missouri, formerly Missouri versus Biden. And they're trying to decide if that's acceptable to use government pressure to censor people on the internet. So look at that. And here we go. Don't touch. In Arabia, it is forbidden to touch the prince. Here's Trump breaking breaking the rule. Now here's the Prince of Arabia, right? And Trump pats him on the shoulder. Right? Nobody pats the fucking prince on the shoulder. If this was anybody else but the leader of a free country or the king of America, they would have his head. They would chop his head off. But since it's Trump, it doesn't matter. Hey, what's up, bud? I'm surprised he didn't pat him on the ass. Stand up, man. I'll pat you on the ass. You're not allowed to touch the prince, right? That's the rule there, and Trump just does it, man. Fucking. Here's Putin. Fucking Putin. Who's the boss? Who's the boss? Like, fucking, hey, don't Trump, I heard about you, man. You fucking rock. Oh, you got a sexy wife, man. Loving the shorts today. There's some shorts. Fucking Trump. What else we got here? Here's a good short, right? This is a mother. This is fascinating. A mother. A mother is worried about her children, right? Watch.
We are paying you to teach history, and that's what you need to be teaching. I'm teaching my son to grow up.
Get out of my classroom, bitch.
And I don't want you hanging on flag. I'm calling security. Hanging a flag up for you to sit up there and teach them the type of stuff I'm trying to keep them away from.
Watch what happens. Just get that shit down. Bang.
We are paying you to teach history, and that's what you need to be teaching. I'm teaching my son to grow up to be a man, and I don't want you hanging on flag. I'm calling security. Hanging a flag.
So there's some quack fucking gay activist teacher, right? And
license and registration.
Excuse me?
License and registration.
Right. Some mother walks into the classroom, and where the map of America is, where you're supposed to be teaching kids where the states are, and this is America. She's got a homo flag. She's got a homo pride flag because that's important to her. See? Get out of there. Give me that fucking flag. We are paying you money to teach history, bitch.
And that's what you need to
That's what you need to be teaching, bitch.
I'm teaching my son
to grow up to be a man.
grow up to be a man.
That's right. That's right.
And I don't want you hanging on flag. I'm calling security.
I'm calling security. Drag the teacher out of there for preaching her own agenda about it, right? You gotta get rid of these people. You gotta get rid of these people. You know, and I like this because it transcends race and all that nonsense, right? Kids are kids, right? Stop promoting that garbage to kids.
For you to sit up there and teach.
If a boy wants to kiss another boy, that's between them, right? Just leave him alone. Don't promote it. Don't fucking get in front of the classroom with a gay flag and shit.
Them, the type of stuff I'm trying to keep them away from.
Boom, 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 boom. I love it. I love the short, man. Digging it. So on the note of amazing stuff, right? This is, I can't believe it, right? 2.3 million views already on just this one page. So a lot of people are watching this ad with Trump. It's amazing. Right? Let's watch it together, and then we'll see. Fellow Americans, is this accurate? Does this resonate? Is it true? Is it a truthful ad? Right, that Trump is putting out there, 3.5 minutes. Let's watch.
More than a country, more than a shining city on a hill.
That's like a Hollywood production, right?
The idea of America lives in each and every one of us. America lives. But a storm has gathered at our shores. A tempest that seeks to tear apart the fabric of our nation. It seeks nothing less than the wanton destruction of this great nation of men and women.
Police state, Antifa riots.
It seeks to
He's got a blue-haired liberal fucking running with the Antifa flag.
rip out, erase, and supplant the very foundations of practicality and reason. It seeks to erase us. We know
white supremacy, right? Those are white people.
this enemy. They have existed throughout time, and now they have come for us.
It's so funny to watch, right? He's creating a fucking fictional, I don't know, he's creating almost like a comic book fucking version of America, right? The deep state. That's the deep state, right? I guess we got to identify. That's the deep state. The what are they called?
And now they have come for us, and they have come for our children.
Look at this. They got some queer dude teaching. Look at the little boy up front, man. Talk about balls, right? You thought Trump was going to go light? You really thought Trump was going to go light on these people? Look at this fucking image, man. I'm a homo. He's teaching your kids. That's fucking crazy, man. This is real. This is real.
We watch the clouds coalesce and gather. We watched them form for decades from a distance as they approached our borders. We heard the clap of thunder echo in our minds and rattle down through the halls of our capitals. We have, most of us, become complacent, unaware, and disengaged while the darkness grew and unfolded around us.
The darkness, the deep state is coming to get you, motherfucker.
Slowly, then all at once.
Boom.
This threat is real. What we face is a hurricane of deceit and moral decay with the goal of absolute power.
That's funny that he's accusing the Democrats, the corporate state, of absolute power, which of course they do have. We're talking about censorship and such. But in the same breath, the people that are running that show are accusing Trump of absolute power. It's fascinating, really.
We face a true battle of good versus evil. If we stand by and
It's like he's got the angels and God, right? He's invoking God.
nothing, evil will triumph. But that is not our fate. We are great men.
We're great men. What about great women?
We are great men with a great leader. A leader that loves this nation and what it has given back to him. A leader who seeks the same ideals as we do. Ideals of truth, liberty, and justice.
Americans, my fellow Americans, did you ever think that politics would be so fucking Hollywood like this? Could you ever imagine that a guy would be running with a campaign ad like this? Did you ever? It's just fascinating.
He sees the greatness in us and the great potential in America and its future.
Right.
He seeks to make America great again.
Make America great.
This man will guide us, but he cannot do it alone.
It's like Clint Eastwood, right? He's like fucking Clint Eastwood. He's going to pull out his big handgun.
It takes every one of us alongside him. It takes work. It takes faith. And it takes resolve. Together we can fight this storm. We can fight and we will win. Unite now. Gather alongside him. Come together for this nation. bear the colors of red, white, and blue that are woven into the fiber of this nation,
Amazing.
saturated with the blood of patriots that came before us.
Wow.
Sacrifice your time. Sacrifice
Sacrifice
your
your
effort to rebuild this nation together. Together we can save America. The America that lives in all of us. Trump 2024.
Oh my God. Like, it's like, he's like Superman. Trump is Superman. What a fucking, what a commercial. I'm going to watch that again. I know I talked over it. You guys should watch it on your own without me talking. But man, I got a good laugh out of that. A lot of it's true. A lot of it is, I mean, he's pushing every button. The race button, the immigrant button, the sexual confusion being pushed on children in this country. Bravo to Donald J. Trump. Bravo for doing that, for taking people to the edge, taking people all the way to the edge. Right, you got to salute him. So that's Trump's ad. Let's look at what's happening in the world. $4.4 billion shoplifting shadow economy revealed, fueled by eBay and Facebook Marketplace. So what's going on here? So there's a lot of professional thieves in New York. We're talking about New York here. So let's just stick with New York. $4.4 billion shoplifting economy. That's a lot of money. $4.4 billion in one state alone. What about the other liberal states? What about California? What about Washington, Oregon, and the rest of them, right? That allow this sort of thing to happen. So it's rather simple, right? What's happening is this. Well, let me read for a bit, and I'll tell you what's happening. A shoplifting epidemic costing retailers in New York $4.4 billion a year is creating a shadow resale economy that ranges from eBay to bodegas, the Post has learned. So what they're doing is they're now targeting the people, not the stealers, not the thieves. They're targeting the people who resell and or buy, right? It's the same old. It's like the prostitute thing, right? They go after the Johns. Right? The prostitute, she goes in one door, out the other because she has problems. But the John, the guy who buys the hooker, he goes to jail for fucking 10 years or whatever it used to be, right? And the same situation is happening here, that they're letting the shoplifters go because of the things that Trump is talking about, the liberal left going off the rails and not running for positions of power, people like Letitia James in New York, and then turning a blind eye to theft, real theft, where people steal from each other, right? Thou shalt not steal. Right? So making in this case, shoplifting, anything under $1,000, legal, literally, right? No consequence, no bail. Right? That's the real problem, right? Shoplifting in New York City alone rose 64% from 64% rise in those numbers usually creep up like a half a percentage point or creep down 2 percentage points. It's up 64 points, 64%. I'm crazy. It's crazy stuff, right? So here's some of the shops. And as I said earlier, what you basically have is you have a band of thieves, people that say, "Oh, I need a job, so I'm going to become a shoplifter, professional shoplifter." You go out there, you get yourself some shopping bags, right, and then you head to your local store, wherever, right. You can go to a supermarket, you can load up on steaks, anything, right, anything that people buy, there's a market for, right? Because they're buying it. Right? You go to the shoe store, you go to the high-end fucking, boutique, and just steal, right? And then you bring it to people called fences, people that they'll buy everything you have. Right? Usually they'll give you a list. They'll say, "This is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for cell phones and electric toothbrushes and fucking power tools and Gucci bags," right? And so the thief then goes out into the world and rounds that shit up and brings it back to the fence, who people line up to buy from, either on eBay or Facebook Marketplace or right in their store, right in the bodega. Right? If you go into I don't know, like a big shopping center, like a fucking supermarket, and you clean out the freezer of all of the Haagen-Dazs chocolate. Right? You get like 20 gallons of Haagen-Dazs chocolate. Right? You run right to the bodega with that shit before, well, it's cold out today, so you don't have to run. But you get down to the bodega, and Flacco will buy that shit from you. He'll buy all of that Haagen-Dazs ice cream at pennies on the dollar. Right? It didn't cost you shit to get it. Right? So you're walking out the store, you know, you got $200, $300 worth of ice cream. You're walking out of there with $65, $50, $100. You're happy, and Flacco is going to sell it to the you know, person that wants to eat the ice cream. Right? He's happy because he got that shit cheap. Right? And I don't know, maybe you got a little discount too if you bought it, because maybe you should. Maybe Flacco is able to sell it even cheaper than the place they stole it from. He should be able to, if he's not fucking greedy. But that's how it works, right? It's a cottage economy, and how do you stop it? Why do you got to attack people that, if you attack the people that are buying the stuff, that doesn't change anything, because not everyone is flipping the goods that they buy. Some people are using the goods that they buy. They go in, they steal food because they need it, and they eat it, right? But the obvious solution, New York, is to stop the shoplifting. God damn it! And it's so stupid. I remember when people bashed Rudy Giuliani, mayor of New York, for locking people up for you know, violent crimes in the 90s, right? The black youth super predators, as Hillary Clinton pointed out. New York was lawless in the 90s. Rudy Giuliani came in and said, we don't have to live like this, and he locked people up. And Rikers Island, the jail in New York, was overflowing. Right? And people complained, oh, the situations in jail are fucking horrible. Well, stop stealing and stop getting yourself stuck in there. Right? That's what Rudy Giuliani did. And that's what you need again. You need the courts, or I guess, I don't know, in New York, Adams, Hatchell, one of these clowns better get busy and make it a crime again, right? And stop worrying about the poor, the fences, the people that sell the stuff, right? So all these guys, it's like everybody's in on it, man. What the fuck? Why am I going to pay for shit? I'm not going to pay for my fucking food anymore. I'm not paying for that. I'm just going to go in there. I'm hungry. I'm going to get the best steak I can find. Right? You go right to the meat locker, fucking $40 sausage or whatever, big ass sausage. You don't even have to hide. You just get a bag, and no one's going to stop you at the door. That's what's going on. Right? This is rare. Oh yeah, the NYPD, they're arresting someone. They're bull fucking shit. 90% of it, 99% of it goes overlooked. Right? So what are they doing? What are they doing about it? Here you go. Now they're parading the guy who bought the stuff. Right? Here's Carlos, an owner of a pawn shop, right? Pleaded guilty to charges including money laundering and criminal possession of a weapon. What a shit show, right? So they come barging into your pawn shop and arrest you for buying the shit, right? Buying the stuff from the criminals, right? The violent criminals that are running out of the store, kicking and punching people and running people over on the way out, right? And this guy just buys the shit and resells it, and he gets hit with the crime when the shoplifter walks out the door. What is going on, right? Doesn't law enforcement see this, right? And who keeps it in place? Well, you have a liberal left attitude, worldview that you can't tell someone not to shoplift because they may need it. They may need to do that to survive. And who are you to tell them what they need to do, right? That's the logic behind that. That shoplifting somehow is a right or a way of survival. Stealing, right? It's validating stealing. That's what you're doing, right? You're stealing someone else's shit, right? Thou shalt not steal, right? Because there's a lot of bad karma attached to that when you steal someone else's stuff. So, but these guys are not stealing; they're just buying and selling. Henry Delgado, he got 6 months in the can. This guy got fucking 5 to 16 years in jail because they come into the pawn shop and they stuck him with a gun charge. He's got a gun in there because he's dealing with criminals. Right? Why shouldn't he have a gun in his fucking pawn shop? Right? He didn't have a license for it, but he got hit with a gun, possession of a weapon, and sentenced to 5 to 16 years. Right? And fucking, it's two ladies. It's not exclusive to men only. Here's Sandra, manager of Easy Pawn, pleaded guilty to attempted enterprise corruption. Enterprise corruption, right? These people are going to jail. And the thugs and the hoods and the criminals, they're okay. They're just going to steal and they're going to sell their shit, right? It's fucking upside down justice, if you ask me, right? It's upside down justice. So be careful, I guess, if it bothers you that you're buying stolen merchandise. Here's a ad on eBay, it looks like, where someone is selling solid yellow fucking wire. Right? You might need wire for your house. $60, right? He probably got it for $5 or $10, right? Somebody stole his shit out of Home Depot, dumped it on the fence, right? And now the fence is selling it. It's got a lot of sales too. This particular one, $2,928 on eBay alone. Right? It's crazy. Some designer goods wind up in shadow retail stores that are loaded with stolen clothing, knockoffs, and discontinued items. Look, I don't care. I don't care when I buy something, where did it come from? It could have come from a slave factory in China or in Pakistan or wherever. Sewing factory, or it could come from stolen out of Walmart 20 minutes ago. It's still hot. Do we really care? Here's John Katsimatidis. This is John from Gristedes and D'Agostino, supermarket guy. He's fucking pissed off, man. He's like, they come in and they wipe him out with Haagen-Dazs ice cream. They take it all. You can't get fucking Haagen-Dazs in New York anymore because the thieves are stealing it. You got to go to Flacco down the block, who never has Haagen-Dazs before this, and now he seems to have a lot of it to sell. Right? You go to a bodega, and suddenly he's got all high-end ice cream in there. Right? Where did he get it? Right? Where'd you get the high-end ice cream, Diego? I don't frown on the stores as much as the thieves, right? Because if you're gonna look, here's the good comparison. If you are going to vilify the people that resell the stolen stuff, what about the people that use illegal immigrants for work, right? Aren't they the same? You got all of these people that have nothing. No money. They jumped the fence or swam across the Rio Grande, and they're on the streets of New York, and it's cold out, and you say, and they go into your establishment illegally, right? They're illegal, and they start working for you and washing pots for $3 an hour. You're happy for that because you got some jerk off that's going to wash your pots for $3 an hour and stay there forever, right? Aren't they just as guilty? You're taking a job away from somebody else. That's what you're doing when you do that. All right? You're devaluing the cost of labor, right? That's what illegal immigration does, right? So those are the same, really, right? Do we vilify every restaurant in New York City for hiring illegals? At the same time, do we vilify every establishment in New York for buying stolen shit and reselling it? No, I think that you have to go to the source. Stop the illegal immigration, lock the fucking fence, in Texas, right? But electrocute the water in the Rio Grande. So if you step in it, you get fucking zapped. Right? Do that. Stop the flood of immigration and lock people up when they get caught stealing. It's that simple, right? You steal. You go into a supermarket. You steal fucking $100 worth of steak. You're going to jail. You're going to sit in jail for 90 days, a year. Just sit there, right? And then they'll stop doing it. They'll stop doing it, right? They'll be in the jails will overflow again with all these fucking people who steal, right? and then they'll stop doing it, right? So anyway, I didn't even talk about Neuralink. We're fucking already 35 minutes in. All right, so there's really not much to know about it, but here's the guy, right? Here he is. He's able to play chess with his brain. Let's watch it.
Not many more of those out there. My name is Bliss, and I'm an engineer.
All right, so Neuralink, this is Elon Musk created the chip, the brain chip, the first telepathic brain chip in a human head. All right, they tried it on monkeys, they tried it, and it worked. All right, they got a monkey to play Pong, but now they got a real live human, right? Like one of us, right? He's paraplegic, he can't move his body, but he's 100% alert. Right? And he's got a chip in his brain, and he's communicating with his computer interface, right? That all he's got to do is think about something, and he gets the cursor to move. That right there is fucking fascinating.
Here at Neuralink, and I'd like to introduce you to the first ever user of the Neuralink device, and I think you're my only telekinetic friend that they have.
Yeah, I hope so.
Not many more of those out there. You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name's Nolan Arbaugh. I'm 29 years old. About 8 years ago, I was in kind of a freak diving accident and dislocated my C4, C5. So
ouch.
I'm a complete quadriplegic.
I hope the music in the background.
So
I hope the music in the background of this video doesn't scratch the fucking channel. I hear some kind of music.
Paralyzed from below the shoulders. I have no sensation or movement below my level of injury, so below my shoulders.
While he's been introducing himself, let me just flip the camera on so you can see what Nolan's been doing.
Yeah.
Let me come over here. Do you want to explain a little bit what's going on?
That's better. No music. So he's playing... thank you, fucking whoever. Thank you, Neuralink, for turning off the music, jerk off.
On here?
Yeah, so I love playing chess, and so this is one of the things that y'all have enabled me to do, something that I wasn't able to really do much.
Look, mommy, no hands. He's not using his hands because he can't use his hands. He's not. All he's doing is thinking about something. That's a breakthrough, right? It wouldn't be fascinating if you put your finger on the screen and moved it around, right? Or you wiggled your mouse over here, right? If you wiggle your mouse, you're doing something physical, right? But here, there's nothing physical happening. It's all mind. He's looking at the cursor, and he's able to move it with his mind. That is amazing, right? That's revolutionary. It's definitely a breakthrough. We haven't ever seen anything like this, at least I never have.
The last few years, especially not like this. I had to use like a mouse stick and stuff, but now it's all being done with my brain. If y'all can see the cursor moving around the screen, that's all me, y'all.
Wheel Girl says, what about the fish in the Rio Grande? I was kidding about that. Obviously, you don't electrify the fucking water, the waterway, right? But there's ways to keep the immigrants out. You don't have to electrify the water. You don't even need barbed wire. You have to make the consequences bad, right? If you get caught at the border, let them just line them up and sit them out in the sun until they bake. You get captured. You got captured, right? And you live in subpar conditions. You don't get a fucking plane ticket to New York. It's very simple. Let them come through. Great. You want to swim across the Rio Grande? Good. You're going right into a fucking holding pen, and you're going to sit there until we kick you out. That's all. That's all you have to do. It's not hard. It doesn't cost a lot to keep somebody alive. You just feed them fucking bare bones. Feed them a bowl of rice every day, and they'll stay alive until you kick them out.
It's pretty cool, huh?
Actually, can you pause the song just for the audio coming through? And that was also done with your brain?
Yep, it's all brain power up there.
So this guy is totally running his computer with no hands. He's just thinking about it, right? What about? I would say law enforcement would definitely like to get their hands on this thing, right? Because now you could have every cop in America with a chip in his brain, right? And he can control his squad car, right? If he's in trouble, he can call in his squad car or his robot to fuck you up, right? Right? He's got a chip in his brain, and so does the robot, right? And he's controlling the robot from out of nowhere. You could, right? You think about the ramification in war or law enforcement if everybody has one of these chips in there. You're not playing chess, you're playing war.
Can you explain a little bit just to people who maybe don't have any context on this field or what's going on here? How are you able to actually move the cursor?
Yeah, so we started out with trying out a few different things. We basically went from what we call kind of differentiating, like imagined movement versus attempted movement. So a lot of
what's interesting too is as he's talking, he's still able to move it. It doesn't. It can differentiate his speech. He's able to focus on the cursor. That's amazing. That's amazing that they figured that out.
Of what we started out with was attempting to move. So I would attempt to move, say, my right hand, left, right, forward, back to move. And from there, I think it just became intuitive for me to start imagining the cursor moving. Basically, it was like using the force on a cursor, and I could get it to move wherever I wanted, just stare somewhere in the screen.
It is. It's like the Force, right? So he says, I'm sorry, I interrupted. He says, I stare at the screen. Let's listen to how he does it.
Stare somewhere in the screen, and it would move cursor, and I could get it to move wherever I wanted. Just stare somewhere in the screen, and it would move where I wanted it to. Which was such a wild experience.
Yeah.
This guy wants to know if you feel like a wizard.
Yeah, right.
It's amazing, right? Fucking amazing. The guy was amazed when he was able to do it. Incredible, right?
It's crazy. It really is. It's so cool. I'm so freaking lucky to be a part of this and stuff. I mean, every day it seems like
This is a success story. This is science par excellence, right? They're able to do it, right? I just gave you the dark side of it, right? Because if they're going to do it for a paraplegic, if a paraplegic can get a machine like a robot to wipe his ass or something, right? Right? If he's NEURALINK to all his contraptions, that's one thing. But what about, as I said, what about a warrior? What about a soldier in the field who can control tanks? Who can control robots, drones, right? By just thinking about them, right? Fascinating. Can never get hurt. Can never get isolated.
Learning new stuff, and I just can't even describe how cool it is to be able to do this.
Do you want to
Zitsu Kuder says Batman can already do that.
briefly talk about a little bit, I guess, what have you been using this for outside of these sort of research sessions or when you're just playing chess? Or some other things you've been getting value from this from?
Yeah, so one of
the commercial.
At Amica Insurance, we know this isn't a car.
One of the first times y'all gave me complete control over this, I actually stayed up until, I don't know, like 6 a.m. playing Civilization 6. It was worth it, I guess is the best way to put it. It was awesome. I had basically given up on playing that game just because of how...
This guy's you know what's going to happen too? You're going to get a generation of very, very powerful thinkers, right? This guy's going to develop a way of concentration that most people don't experience. Maybe people that meditate. I like to see the monks wire some of the monks, right, that have that incredible concentration from meditating all day long, that one pointed concentration. Put the fucking link in their head and watch the thing move, man. This guy's an amateur. This guy's just learning how to use his mind. Those guys have been doing it since they're kids.
I mean, it's a big game, and the amount of time that it takes to sit in on it it's just a lot, and I have to worry about a lot of things, getting pressure sores and things like that. So I just wasn't really able to play it as much.
All right, so that's the background. There he is. That's the man, the myth, the legend that's doing it. He is the first human to have a NEURALINK computer chip surgically implanted in his brain, demonstrated how he uses his thoughts to move a computer cursor around the screen to play online chess and toggle on and off a music stream. Right? Fascinating. His name is Nolan Arberg, 29 years old, paralyzed from the shoulders down. We just saw him, just reading here. He joined a live stream alongside NEURALINK engineer from X. It's all being done with my brain, he says. If y'all can see the cursor moving around the screen, that's all me, y'all, he said. What a great character. What a great inspiration. What a great guy to have out in front of your product. Right? Neuralink. Is it public? I don't think so. Let's look at the markets. Markets are up today. The futures were up, were open, and boom, NASDAQ up 134. The Dow Jones just added 205, S&P 500 up 27. On the Powell news, I guess, inflation is what it is, right? So markets they're continuing to go up. Look at NVIDIA go. NVIDIA is $910 a share right now. Apple down 170, down $2. Amazon up $1. Facebook $509 a share to $3, up $380. Microsoft up $380. Yeah, it's good. Bitcoin up. Look at this. Bitcoin is up $3,500 today, right? Up 5%. Bitcoin, right, on the dollar. Amazing, right? Fucking amazing. The ETF that follows it, but not very closely, seems to be BITO. If you're interested, how are I haven't talked about the Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson pharmaceutical industrial complex. Those stocks are all green today. Not really sure why, but they are. And there you go, man. Markets are up. You can't make it up. Stock markets are up. People are hurting in America again. Wages are fucking low, and job opportunities are slim. But the stock market is booming. The stock market, the billionaires are getting richer and richer by the minute, right? This is what we should be teaching our kids in school, right? This is when you go to kindergarten, right? This is I'll leave everybody with this, right? Instead of worrying about the homo card, right? If the child is what the child's sex is, right? And having and all the other bizarre fucking left agenda. Why not teach and how to hunt? Even on the right, you have people who teach their kids to hunt. Why would you hunt an animal like this? Look at this animal.
I had no experience with a deer.
Right. That's a deer. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a deer. This is a beautiful creature, right, that lives in the woods and has a mother and had a father, right? And he's alive and he's vibrant and he loves you and he's excited to see you. Right? Why do people shoot these animals? Why do people do that, right? Why? How do you shoot this thing? How do you shoot a beautiful creature like this, right? That's what we should be teaching our kids, right? This is life. This is what you protect. You don't point your gun at it. Your gun is to protect you from people that want to take away your fucking house and your deer. This guy has a pet deer, the deer from a baby, keeps coming back to say hello. Beautiful guy, beautiful deer. All right? Please don't shoot the animals. Please don't shoot the animals. Don't do that. Right? It's bad for them. It's bad for you. It's bad for everybody. Right? We're not barbaric anymore. We're not fucking living in a cave. Right? Humans have evolved past that. You don't need to eat the deer. You can eat cashew nuts and such, and tofu, right, and other grains, things that are good for you, right? Vegetables. This is not your food. Ladies and gentlemen, look at the picture. This is not your food, right? Humans, don't eat the deer. Right? Love the deer. Love the deer. Beautiful animals. Right? Beautiful, beautiful creatures. Marcus Conte reporting.